You know, I I don't understand. I get that I've made several videos about San Japan, and oh my gosh, they just get worse and worse and worse. Look, okay, whatever. I'm actually glad I don't go there anymore. Seriously, because you know how bad it's gotten. I can't believe this. Now look, I've already mentioned them in previous videos, and I'm not going to want to try to pile on it very much. I am going to make one point again, because again I have to talk about another group. Our least favorite VTuber group ever, VShojo. I'm running out of hair. I really am. I'm going bald, okay? I know it. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm Plasma Warriors. Any of you want to call me? I'm going to piss the hell off. Okay. Calm down. For one moment. I can't! Anyway. So let's get down to it, shall we? And oh my god, those of you who don't drink, you're gonna be forced to in about 10 minutes. So allow me to explain. San Japan decided to do a few stupid things. One of which I thought was smart at the time. Go ahead and move to Labor Day weekend. Okay, when you're competing with Dragon Con, thank you very much. I'll go over to Atlanta now. But that isn't the big problem I have with it. Oh no. Then, we've had to have the Old Spice guy drama. And let me explain once more. I understand the rules of the convention center require men even to have shirts on. But he's been able to skirt around that several times, so I've never had a problem with them. Oh, goody. And then, part number 3, which I'll get to later. Oh, then I think we all can agree that we're past the stage where this virus going on is that lethal. And it's still deadly, but it's not as bad as the cold was. We can all get past that part, right? So I'm not saying wear a mask or not wear a mask in this case. I'm just saying we're to a point where it's not as lethal as it would have been for several reasons. Okay, I get that. I'm going to stop with the rant for 5 seconds and get to the point. No matter who you are, it is never okay for a staff member at any convention, no matter what, to put their hands on anybody, okay? No one should ever physically touch another convention attendee unless it's to try to save their life and you have medical training. By the way, shout out to my boy Traumahawk at DragonCon. Might go next year. Still thinking about that. Point being, unless you are a physician or do have a medical background, hands off. So why in God-given hell would some moron decide to put their hands on an attendee during an event? Now, here's what happened. There was somebody who wasn't wearing a mask properly. Oh, boo-hoo, big deal. What else is new? I mean, this is one of those things that you need to know. Masks at conventions are pretty common in a lot of ways, especially when you're cosplaying. So to me, it's kind of like, yeah, whatever, big deal to begin with, because sometimes it's part of their costume. I don't know if this case was a part of the costume or not, because I didn't get those details, but that is irrelevant. So a safety team member, oh dear God, why did it have to be one of my fellow safety guys? Not at this convention. I've been long gone from San Japan for years. Decided to take it upon themselves to approach this person. Now, that's, I don't know. Is it really up to us to decide that factor? Or is it more on the convention center? I don't think, again, I think I made a point before that conventions can tell you to do certain things, but it's not a good look for a convention. Okay, so things already look pretty bad, because you're not supposed to really go up to an attendee and say, you know what, you need to do this, because blah, blah, blah. If the attendee starts to get hostile, that's one thing. But I've never had an attendee put their hands on me, so. Now, what this guy did was, I don't know how bad this was or how much they did it, but they went ahead and assaulted this attendee. Now, I'll make it very simple. If you ever put your hands on an attendee as a safety volunteer, and you weren't given permission or you weren't told by the police to help restrain them, fuck you, bitch. Get the hell out and don't come back. If it's something light, like a tap, okay, maybe that was accidental. If it was just to get someone's attention, I get it. But once you actually try to physically assault somebody, go downtown, get pressed for charges, have your fingerprints taken, and spend about 48 hours to 72 in a jail cell. Because that's what you damn deserve. I'm not playing any games with this guy. This person should have been kicked out the con and told not to leave. That is not what happened. Apparently, the convention went ahead and backed this guy up for whatever the heck reason. He just said, oh, well, it's not such a big deal. Well, I don't give a damn what a big deal is. You put your hands on an attendee, you can fucking get out of here. You're off my list. You're not going to be back on my list ever again. And quite frankly, I'm going to tell every convention in the 5-state area, and Texas is a big state, by the way. It probably covers all the way up to Minnesota. And believe me, I've been there too. Great city in Minneapolis, by the way. Point being, no, you're fucking out of here. Get in handcuffs and take a shit in somebody else's metal pan. Yeah, I said it. I'm not taking it back either. This is just a history of San Japan continuously not caring. You know what? This is something I gotta address again. Because I didn't want to make this video. In fact, I was going to make a video about something else, which now is this video too. Because remember what we had to deal with a few years ago with Dave and his entirely stupid idea where he could invite guests of people of color as well? So, San Japan's gone from being incredibly overbearing with their rules, which is annoying enough, to outright racist. This isn't a question. I will get to that in a moment. To now we promote people who want to physically hurt people. Yeah, your safety. Go ahead and punch someone in the face, in other words. You know, it takes a very special kind of stupid for me to put you on John Lay's level, and I think Dave Hennigan is getting there. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. So, immediately, I'm just sorry to say this, but people have said San Japan's been in decline for years, and I can see why. Don't get me wrong. People can change, but so far, I don't see that happening from this incredibly shallow idiot. Now we go back to the racism point. Oh, here we go again. You know what? I might as well go bald at this point. I'm not kidding. So we all know the drama with Old Spice guy, and I said immediately afterwards they need to have him as a guest for the next year, and I don't think they ever did. I've talked to him once, but it wasn't about San Japan. It was about other stuff. Point being, again, what happened? So Dave says he has a hard time finding guests of people of color. And I said in another video, well, you're not trying. You live in San Antonio, Texas. There's a lot of Hispanic people. Heck, let me call up my friend and her husband. She's half black, half Korean. There you go. Problem solved, right? No, we can't do that. In fact, they decided to bring Dave back to chair the convention once more. Now, why do I bring this up again? Because they invited members of VShojo, the VTuber community, onto their convention. Now, allow me to make it very clear. I've already addressed the whole Silver Bell thing. How they thought it was a joke, and they're not a comedian, don't pass themselves off one, to believe that it's okay to relate pets to things that Asian people eat. For the billionth time, no, it's not. And at the time, of course, the whole virus pandemic was at full swing. And I said, because there was something going on, there was a rumor X happened, that really made people very xenophobic at the time. Of course, it was very inhumane regardless. I mean, that's my big beef. You don't go and say, oh, it's okay to eat the family dog. You know I don't go watch anything from VShojo? Other than Project Melody being a complete meltdown? Oh, we'll get to that again in a moment. Because now I have this problem. You see, VShojo should have known better both fucking times. They should have known better with Silverville, and they should have known better with San Japan. You don't ever think this is okay. When you say, oh, this is fine, we can be as racist as we want. No. Now, this is legit racism. This isn't build a wall on the southern border because Mexico has problems. No. Mexico's a country, I'd like to remind you. This isn't, oh, but he said something because he's a comedian, and it's like, yeah, Dave Chappelle or Carlos Mencia. No. They didn't pass themselves as comedians. So yeah, fuck you, asswipe bitches, and don't you dare think I'm ever gonna watch any of your crap again. But you know what really annoys me? How much people get away with this. And I do mean on both the VTuber and the convention side. On the VTuber side, Silverville's basically become the, oh, I'm innocent of all charges thing. You have no idea. Yeah, fuck you, asshole. You know what? That's with all hentai I've been seeing, you probably like that, so I take that back. No, on San Japan's side, you don't even have to worry about me saying anything this time, Isabel Electrum. I know you think I'm kidding. All you have to do is look up San Japan and people of color, and you'll see what I mean. First damn entry on Google. So, let me explain why this is becoming a big fuck you to the entire industry on both sides. It's because there are good people on all fronts besides these people that seem to understand you can't do this. And again, if I said something like this at a convention, I would rightfully be removed from said convention. No questions asked. And you know what? I'm not done yet. No! I wish I were. Remember when I went back and called some certain people basically a, what's the word for it? Starts with an N, has a Z-I, you know, at the end of it. You know what they did mostly? Is that if you say anything to go against what we do, we're going to destroy you. Thank you for fascism, ladies and gentlemen. And that's exactly what we're getting out of VShojo. But why do I bring it up in a video about San Japan? Because that's basically the reason why I was removed at the time. When I never went back for many reasons. Glad I didn't. From their staff team because I called out one of their members for being a scumbag themselves. Wow. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Did you know in the rules that you're not supposed to cause drama within the community from most of these places? What the hell do you care if I talk about this person or that person? You know, drama's gonna happen anyway. You might as well just get used to it. Or better yet, try to solve it instead of being part of it. You know, turn your music down, because I think I'm about to get as loud as I've ever been on this channel. Turn it down. This is your warning. 3, 2, 1. I want them both off the fucking internet now! I mean it. I'm sorry. At this point, I don't know what to tell you. If I really wanted to go ahead and say that these guys are basically playing the role of communism squared, then yeah. That's basically what happened. Now, don't get me wrong. I can't do anything about it. I can't go on the Twitch and to say, get rid of these people forever, you know. And I can't go on sell everyone at the Henry Gonzalez Convention Center. You know what? These guys are just evil. No, I can't do that. So, the best thing I would suggest, because I just simply don't like to be evil back, just don't bother with them. Don't watch them. Don't mess with them. Heck, I'm at the point where I don't even want to talk about them. But yet, every time I seem to have something that was like I'm walking away, they do something even dumber! Okay. Enough angry convention nerd for now. The point I will make is that conventions, we're better than this. We're better than the racism. We're better than the assault. We're better than the command you do what we say or we'll kick you. Why aren't we doing this? Especially with San Japan, especially with Anime Matsuri. Why do we keep this up? And to be very honest, if you want better VTubers, there are plenty of good ones out there. Heck, I'll go ahead and say a few right now. I am adoring Prayers from Abigail so much more. You want a LewTuber who isn't seriously, stupidly one way or the other? Vex Ruby. I mean, they're better out there. Just go to them. Or go watch them. Heck, I'm pretty sure if I actually had the money and time, I'd put together my own VTuber. Sounds like a good idea if I actually could find the way to do it. But, all that aside, I have to put my foot down. I'll make some announcements on another area for LewdCon, but I'm basically done with these people. I can't work with them. They continuously allow this to keep going. So I'm just gonna stop messing with it. I wish there were better news, but really, there isn't. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe for more content. Donate to my PayPal, plasmawarrior2002@gmail.com, or my coffee at Plasma Warrior. I don't have a video planned particularly right now because, quite frankly, I've had enough screaming and yelling for one day. I really want to do some other stuff. However, I do have a convention announcement, and that will be OniCon. That will be Friday, November 11th through Sunday, November 13th in Galveston, Texas. I might go to another one in December. Jury's still out on that. But at least I know I'm going there because it's basically, well, long story short, you might have noticed I'm in a different room here. Yeah, I had to move out of my old place and into my parents' for a while. A lot of things happen and they owe me some money because of it. So that's basically their payback for me. Well, at least it's helpful. I don't have to worry about spending $400 getting there and back. So positive there. In any case, until we see each other again, hopefully under better terms, because you can't get much worse than that, later.